Captain America first appeared in the pages of Captain America Comics #1 in March 1941. This comic was published by Timely Comics, which later became Marvel Comics. Created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, Captain America was conceived during a tumultuous time. The world was engulfed in the throes of World War II, and the character was designed to represent the spirit of patriotism. His alter ego, Steve Rogers, was a frail young man granted superhuman strength through a serum, becoming a symbol of freedom and justice. The cover of his debut issue is iconic, showing Captain America punching Adolf Hitler. This imagery was bold, considering the United States had not yet entered the war. The character was an instant success, resonating deeply with readers. Captain America became a morale booster for troops and civilians alike. His stories were filled with action, heroism, and a clear distinction between good and evil. These tales provided hope and escapism in a time of global conflict. Throughout the war, Captain America was portrayed fighting Axis powers, often alongside his sidekick Bucky Barnes. The character embodied the ideal American soldier, one who was brave, selfless, and unwavering in his devotion to his country. His adventures were not just about physical battles, but also ideological ones, representing the fight for freedom and democracy. As the war ended, however, Captain America's popularity waned, leading to a shift in his narrative direction. As the post-war era began, Captain America's popularity faced challenges. The superhero genre itself was in decline, and Steve Rogers found himself struggling for relevance. In the 1950s, an attempt was made to revive the character as a commie smasher during the early Cold War years. This iteration, however, did not resonate with readers, and Captain America was shelved until a revival in the 1960s. This period marked the Silver Age of comics, a time when many classic superheroes were reintroduced with fresh narratives. In 1964, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby brought Captain America back in the Avengers #4. This story saw Steve Rogers thawed from the ice where he had been trapped since World War II, effectively making him a man out of time. This element of his character added depth, allowing writers to explore themes of displacement and adaptation to a changed world. Captain America became a leader of the Avengers, showing wisdom and strategic acumen. The character's moral compass and leadership qualities were highlighted during this era. Unlike his wartime persona, the modern Captain America was more introspective and occasionally conflicted. He grappled with issues of authority and his place in a world vastly different from the one he knew. This development resonated with readers, providing a nuanced portrayal that was both human and heroic. The Silver Age transition into the Bronze Age of comics in the 1970s saw Captain America evolve further. This era was ripe with social change, and comics were no exception. Captain America became a vehicle for exploring complex issues such as civil rights, political corruption, and personal identity. One of the most significant storylines of this time was The Secret Empire, which mirrored real-world events and political disillusionment. The Secret Empire storyline in 1974 was particularly groundbreaking. It depicted a conspiracy within the US government, culminating in Captain America's shocking resignation. Disillusioned with the corruption he uncovered, Steve Rogers abandoned his mantle, taking on the identity of Nomad, the man without a country. This storyline was a reflection of the era's cynicism and loss of trust in political institutions. Under the creative direction of writers like Steve Englehart and artists like Sal Buscema, Captain America became a more complex character. He was no longer just a symbol of America, but a man grappling with its changing values. This period allowed for a deeper exploration of what it meant to be a hero in a flawed world, pushing Captain America into more mature thematic territory. The modern age of comics, beginning in the mid-1980s, continued to expand Captain America's character complexity. Writers like Mark Gruenwald and Ed Brubaker introduced storylines that delved into Steve Rogers' personal struggles and the implications of his long absence from society. Themes of loyalty, friendship, and personal sacrifice were explored in new and profound ways. The character was also placed at the center of major Marvel events such as Civil War. In the Civil War storyline, Captain America was pitted against Iron Man in a conflict over superhero registration. This narrative positioned him as a defender of personal freedoms against governmental oversight. The storyline was a commentary on real-world issues such as privacy and civil liberties, making Captain America a relevant figure in contemporary debates. His ultimate decision to surrender and later assassination were pivotal moments, underscoring the complex morality and stakes involved. Another significant development was the revelation of Bucky Barnes' survival as the Winter Soldier. This introduced a layer of personal history and complexity to Steve Rogers' character, allowing for stories that dealt with guilt, redemption, and forgiveness. The return of Bucky also redefined Captain America's relationships, adding depth to his narrative. Section 5. Key storylines, The Shield and Beyond. Throughout his history, Captain America has been at the center of numerous key storylines that have defined his legacy. One of the most iconic is The Winter Soldier, which reintroduced Bucky Barnes as a brainwashed assassin. This storyline resonated with themes of friendship, loss, and redemption, adding an emotional depth to Captain America's saga. Another critical storyline is the death of Captain America, which followed the events of Civil War. Here, Steve Rogers was assassinated, leaving a significant impact on the Marvel Universe. His absence led to other characters taking up the mantle, such as Bucky Barnes and later Sam Wilson, the Falcon. This storyline explored themes of legacy and the enduring need for heroes. The Man Out of Time is another significant narrative, delving into Steve Rogers' struggle to adjust to the modern world. It highlighted his timeless values and the challenges of maintaining them in a rapidly changing society. These storylines collectively showcase the versatile storytelling that Captain America enables, from action-packed adventures to intimate character studies. Section 6. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, A New Era. With the advent of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain America transitioned from the pages of comics to the big screen. Portrayed by Chris Evans, Steve Rogers made his cinematic debut in Captain America: The First Avenger in 2011. This film introduced audiences to the origins of Captain America, setting the stage for his role in the larger MCU narrative. The character's arc in the MCU was expansive, spanning multiple films including The Avengers, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Avengers Endgame. Each installment added layers to his character, exploring themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and leadership. The Winter Soldier film was particularly noted for its political thriller elements, drawing parallels to contemporary issues of surveillance and freedom. Chris Evans' portrayal was widely praised, capturing both the physical presence and moral conviction of Captain America. His journey concluded in Avengers Endgame, where Steve Rogers chose to pass on his shield to Sam Wilson, signaling a new chapter for the character. The MCU's adaptation of Captain America not only brought the character to a global audience but also reinforced his relevance in modern narratives. To Section 7. The Creators Behind the Legend. Captain America's enduring legacy is a testament to the creative minds who have shaped him over the decades. Joe Simon and Jack Kirby laid the foundation with their creation during World War II, crafting a character that embodied the spirit of the times. Their collaboration set the stage for countless stories that would follow. In the 1960s, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby revived Captain America, reintroducing him to a new generation of readers. Their work established many of the character's defining traits, including his leadership qualities and moral integrity. This partnership was instrumental in integrating Captain America into the larger Marvel Universe, making him a central figure in numerous storylines and crossovers. The 1970s and beyond saw contributions from writers like Steve Englehart, who challenged the character's ideals, and Ed Brubaker, who revitalized him with stories like The Winter Soldier. Each creator brought their unique vision, ensuring Captain America's continued evolution and relevance. This collective effort has kept the character fresh and engaging, appealing to fans across generations. Section 8. The Actors Who Brought Him to Life. On screen, Captain America has been portrayed by several actors, but none more prominently than Chris Evans. Before Evans, the character appeared in serials and television films, each contributing to his evolving portrayal. However, it was Evans's embodiment of Steve Rogers that became iconic, representing the character's ideals and complexities to a worldwide audience. Chris Evans's casting initially met with skepticism, given his previous role as the Human Torch in Fantastic Four. However, his performance from The First Avenger to Endgame won over critics and fans alike. He managed to capture the essence of Steve Rogers, combining strength, humility, and an unwavering moral compass. His portrayal became a defining part of the MCU's success. Beyond Evans, Other actors like Sebastian Stan, who played Bucky Barnes, and Anthony Mackie, who took on the mantle as Falcon, contributed significantly to the character's story. Their performances added depth and continuity, ensuring that Captain America's legacy continued to evolve on screen. Together, these actors have cemented Captain America's place in cinematic history. Section 9. Cultural impact and relevance today. Captain America's cultural impact extends far beyond comics and films. As a symbol of American ideals, he has become an icon of hope, courage, and integrity. Over the years, the character has been used to comment on societal issues, reflecting the changing values and challenges of each era. This ability to adapt has kept Captain America relevant, resonating with audiences across different generations. The character's influence is evident in various media, from video games to television series, each iteration exploring different facets of his persona. Captain America has also become a symbol of unity, often rallying diverse heroes together in times of crisis. His shield, iconic in its design, represents both protection and defiance, symbolizing the character's core values. Today, Captain America continues to inspire, serving as a reminder of the enduring power of hope and resilience. His stories encourage readers and viewers to stand up for what is right, highlighting the impact of individual actions in the face of adversity. As new generations discover his tales, Captain America's legacy endures, proving that the ideals he represents are timeless and universal.